Start by picturing the modern nervous system not as a sealed chamber, but as an open coastline. Waves of electricity break across its surface every time you think, speak, or remember. For decades, engineers have been studying how to map those waves, to translate the pulses of the brain into signals a machine can read. They call it neurointerface research. At the bright end of the spectrum are medical implants that restore movement to paralyzed limbs, speech to those who've lost their voice, even vision to damaged eyes. But there is a darker peninsula on that same map, a territory spoken of in defense reports and speculative patents, sometimes called synthetic telepathy. The phrase is magnetic because it sounds like science fiction, yet its ingredients are prosaic. Sensors that catch the faint magnetic whisper of neurons, algorithms that decode patterns in those signals, emitters that send carefully shaped electromagnetic pulses back into tissue, nudging attention, mood, or muscular response. Put together, you get a feedback loop between human thought and external machinery. That is the kernel of synthetic telepathy, not sorcery, but a chain of measurable events, each step still imperfect, but improving with every iteration. Here is how to examine it without losing yourself in alarm. First, learn the public record. Academic papers on EEG-based speech reconstruction, DARPA's silent talk, experiments, prototypes of wearable ultrasound or transcranial stimulators. They show how a rudimentary mind-to-machine bridge could form. Next, look at the governance gap. No clear rules prevent dual use of these tools, and military agencies invest heavily in faster, quieter channels of command. This is where speculation begins, in the spaces where secrecy meets technical possibility. To understand how manipulation might occur, follow the chain backwards. Any system that can read neural activity must first collect data at close range or by focusing energy toward the head. That requires proximity, power, and precision, all obstacles that limit scale. Yet rumors grow because people fear not just what a device can do, but how the idea of it might erode confidence in their own thoughts. The real contest is psychological. If you believe every stray notion could be an injection from outside, you could be guided without a single signal being fired. So how to keep sovereignty over your own mind? Develop a disciplined filter between claim and proof. Notice which stories ask for your attention, but offer no verifiable pathway. Study how attention itself is a resource. Advertisers, governments, and platforms compete to steer it long before anyone build a machine that speaks inside your head. Practice grounding habits, breath work, conversation with trusted peers, breaks from continuous media. They sound ordinary, yet they're shields against the subtle colonization of imagination. Synthetic telepathy, in its present form, is less a finished weapon than an emergent field. Pieces of neuroscience, signal processing, and behavioral design coalescing into something new. It may never reach the clarity of voice-to-voice transmission, but its surrounding myths will continue to test our literacy. To explore it wisely is to walk a narrow bridge between curiosity and credulity, skepticism and awe. And this is the final lesson, the how-to that matters most. Guard the privacy of your inner life, not only from possible machines, but from the stories you let nest there. Use evidence as your compass, imagination as your torch, and calm as your anchor. In a time when thought itself feels like a broadcast, that is how to remain the sole author of your own signal.